Good evening, good afternoon, family. This is another uh, talk from Deanne, the Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360, the Melanin Report 360. Like, share, subscribe, follow, like, share, subscribe, follow, like, share, subscribe, follow. I think I'm going to cut this hair off. It's going to be like 10,000 degrees here. And I think I'm going to shave it really close. I think that's a little bit more in style. So I think I'm going to go to my um, stylist and have her do her magic. So uh, that's what's going on. So I had a couple of points to make today. I typically have some notes, but I'm going to speak from my heart because I'm going to definitely speak from my heart. So let me go ahead and read the fair use disclaimer so I can dot my I's, cross my T's. So fair use, copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So I want to read that because I'm going to go in on a couple of, at least one person, individual, and that is the MSNBC commentator Joy Reid. Joy Reid. And because at some point, I think we need to recognize when there is a sisterhood and when there isn't. So I'm going to be gentle yet firm because as a sister to I just have so many thoughts in my mind. I'm going to start off slow. So Midwood Charles, the late Midwood Charles, was actually her parents and Joy's parents were not so much friends. I don't know about all of that, but they are first generation to this country from Haiti. Okay. And so I really I understand, I overstand why she is or isn't doing what she is or isn't doing in regards of the attorney, the late attorney, Midwin Charles, that she took the vaccine. She took the vaccine on March 1st. We have all seen it. It's on her Twitter. She did all of that on Twitter March 1st. She's passed on by the 6th or 7th, I believe. The 7th, I believe. 6th or 7th. And what I am saying is why, I know why, but in all honesty, we have to stand for something, or we'll fall for any and all things. But I know because they're saying that it's not clear on why she died. She took a blah, 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 blah vaccine. She took the blah, 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 blah vaccine. I'm not going to curse. I don't want to be banned from YouTube. She took the vaccine. Relatively healthy. I mean, 47. She's 10 years younger than me. And she was 10 years younger than me. She is 10 years younger than me. What I'm saying is, you have the information. She took the vaccine, relatively healthy. She was always on MSNBC. She was on CNN, a legal analyst, contributor. Woman had a talk show, I believe. There was some, I mean, she was a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving parts. She was really, really excellent in what she did. She was an attorney, I think, from 20 years. I think she got her firm probably 15, 20 years ago. But Joy, I'm going to speak to Joy. She may or may not ever see this, but this is on my heart. Joy, I know that we all need work. We all need a job. We need to keep the roof over our head, blah, blah, blah. But for the sake of argument, if you have the information, that's what reporting is. You report the news that's fit to print. That's, what you call its tagline. That was from the New York Times, all the news that's fit to print. And she has the information. You can't tell me Joy does not have that information. If I have it, half of you have it. She definitely has it. Her Guyanese, or I think, no, Haitian friend, I'm sure, probably personal friends, and I'm sure to some degree. And I think I believe, Midwin lived in Brooklyn, and Joy lives in Brooklyn. I don't take me to the bank on that. But I believe they both live in Brooklyn. And so it was bothersome to me that information I had to, seek and find. It did not come out, you know, off the cuff as you would imagine that she would feel like she would need to do. She meaning Joy Reid. Joy Reid and Midwin were probably, best buddies or some level of that. And she's not even turning the key on the truth. Because if I found the truth, most of you out there have the truth. And the truth will set us free. So why is she avoiding talking about it? It was spoken about when it happened. That's when I found out. It was on, I think it was the 7th, the next day after her passing. I think that's when I heard about it. I was watching MSNBC. Oftentimes I try to do that and in support of her show. And she mentioned it kind of, I don't want to say haphazardly, but she mentioned it to another person that was a contributor. I think he's an attorney too, the guy with the big fro, the mixed gray fro. And he's got a different kind of name. I'm trying to remember his name, but mystical. Okay. Mystical, I can't think of his last name, but she said, well, with the passing of Midwin Charles, do you have any, comments or, he was in such shock and blah, blah, blah. And that's when I first heard about it. I was like, oh my gosh, because I remember seeing her pretty consistently on MSNBC and or the other network, CNN. And so she didn't even I didn't see, I misspeak if she did it. I did not see like a tribute, if you will, for Midwin Charles, at least on her show, maybe not on any other show on MSNBC, but she had a connection, I'm sure, to her, and she mentioned, how much I think she tweeted she was in shock and blah, blah, blah. Bring information to the people, Joy, because no one has said she took the vaccine and 5 weeks later she's dead. That's truth. What, I mean, I'm connecting the dots. That's what happened. So now you hear, maybe she took the vaccine, she tweeted, so that's not front and center. Because, see, the reason why they're not doing that, because they know statistically we are not feeling that vaccine. Okay, I'm pointing to myself. So we're not feeling the vaccine, and out the gate, you know, I had decided, that ain't, because it's so experimental. Because you can't treat the human body all one size fits all. No, 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 no. So I'm a scientist in education, but clearly that's just putting two and two together is going to equal four every day. And what I am finding out, everyone is being treated the same. The same. The shot is the same. If going with the list of um, pre-existing, like if obesity is a pre-existing condition, it could be just a percentage of the strain or the full dose. If you cancer patient, um, is it a percentage of the dose at full strength? So the fact that it is cookie cutter, one size fits all, I know as a scientist, at a science mind, that don't work for everyone. Because Midwin Charles had a reaction. She was more concerned with, she had an EpiPen. This was what her, on March 1st, she had the post, I think it was a Twitter post, and she said, well, I'm taking the EpiPen in case because I have a serious peanut allergy. She was so concerned with peanut allergy, and she had it safeguarded, hey, if she needs to take the EpiPen, to avoid the reaction, it would be handy. She wouldn't leave home without it. But yes, we know that this information is being withheld. Why is it being withheld? Because we are skeptical for taking the COVID vaccine. We are skeptical as a people, because even if you don't have a scientist's mind, you have logic. You've been on this planet long enough. You have logic. Logical. You have logic, And the fact that one size fits all, nothing matters with pre-existing conditions, obesity, if you're a cancer patient, if you are HIV positive. I don't think there's a checklist. Who does that? Who does that? And I know the goal was getting so many vaccine in arms, but at what cost? What costs are we paying Black, brown people? And not everything is being reported. I'm saying, I have some family members that have already taken the vaccine. So I don't have a comment on that. However, one size never fits all. Even twins, identical twins, there is some level of difference even in identical twins. So that's why we have to be cautious and careful when we administer, depending on the pre-existing conditions. I know someone who took the vaccine that she has, or the person has had cancer, breast cancer in the past. Okay. I'm not going to mention any names, but it's not me. So she has had breast cancer. Okay. She's an elderly person. And what I'm saying to you, it's not one size fits all. So how dare this country send the message that you all are all the same? There's no consideration on anything. I mean, that just doesn't even, it just dumbs us down, to have that understanding and acknowledgement that one size does not fit all. It never has fit all in science, definitely not in science. So we have to look at this. And like I said, I address Joy Reid. She may or may not ever hear this message. You really should search your conscious and give connection to the COVID vaccine. That woman would probably still be here. 99% chance she would still be walking this earth had she not taken the vaccine. I'm not saying every person is dropping dead. No. I mean, statistically, that's not going to happen. But the fact that it happened on her, 47 years young, years younger than me. And she got, I think, I remembered that she also, this is from her post. I'm not talking out of line because I read her post, and she used the word convince her mother to get the vaccine. You know, she posted a picture page of her mom. Her mom is like covering her eyes, and. So my goodness. But I believe that we owe it, the media owes it to report the truth, not hide the truth. The truth will set you free. And in addition to that, you can make an informed decision. Because people are just being, hurried along with the vaccine. It's still experimental. It's still experimental drug for experimental use. Okay. So if it's try and true, that's one thing. But if you see experimental on the label, which I'm sure it is, it's experimental drug. And if you have to sign off, not ever going after Pfizer, in her case, I think that was the drug, the vaccine, excuse me, that she received. And 5 weeks later, they're probably planning a funeral over it if they haven't already had one. So this is the atrocity of the country. They can, let you know what they want you to know. And if it wasn't for my diligence of, wait a minute, this ain't right. When I found out that young lady died, I was like, a tailspin. I'm like, huh? What? I just saw her last week on MSNBC, whatever it was. And Joy Reid, if you're listening, you should be checking yourself because you are owe it to the legacy for us not to be duped into taking the vaccine. Not trying to say you're not going to take it, but have the information. One person dead is one too many. There's I don't know the reporting, it's a little bit unclear, but allegedly, I will say that, allegedly, DMX took allegedly Pfizer, and had a heart attack. And the family came out and said that it was not drug overdose. Because I think if that was the case, it was like rumbling in the streets of he overdosed and he caused a heart attack or whatever. And I was like, hmm. And it was around the same time as Midwood Charles. And they're both melanated people, both melanated people. We're already susceptible of saying, no, thank you. I hope you saw the Saturday night skit. That was brilliant a couple of weeks ago when Daniel Kaluuya, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, he was hosting, and they were like $10,000, for the COVID vaccine. Nah, I'm good. And so, we have reason, apparently, because they're not bringing it. The fact that we have to find and search the information, that should be front and center. That young lady took the vaccine, and that's what she put on her Twitter feed. It's not a shock. She had already put the information out there. Thank goodness. Because had she not, it probably would still be a question in everyone's mind. But she did it. I think she went somewhere in Brooklyn, and yeah, I forgot which place. And she was describing the military kind of people. And that's another thing. Anyway, that's another story. So, buyer beware. One size never fits all. Never. Never, ever, ever, ever. And the fact that we are intelligent people. We are intelligent people in this crazy society. Just rise above what you're being told and what you know to be true. The truth will set you free. Because when they said there was no particular reason, or I felt like it wasn't a car accident, because they would have said that. Oh, Midwin Charles was in a horrible accident, blah, blah, blah. That would have been front and center on the news. But the fact that they said, unknown cause of death, I'm like, no, 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 no. You cannot pull anything like that over on us as a people. But we should be talking and asking questions and talking to Don Lemon. I don't even know if he was teared up and describe all of that, but it was kind of, she was a contributor on both networks, so MSNBC and CNN. So they should have, I don't know if they did or didn't. I'm misspeaking perhaps at this point, but I know that Don Lemon probably did not connect the dots to the March 1st vaccine. I guess they want to keep their jobs, but I don't know. This is the truth. This is the truth. I don't understand how somehow being truthful is a crime in the media world. I don't know. I've never been in the media world. But the fact that I had to sift and find, not too far, because it was, like I said, it was on her page, her Twitter page. And she posted it, and she let people know that her mother also, she convinced her mother. I mean, I'm sure her mother is crapping in her pants, because green tea is a drink of choice. So this is really good, cold, and in the spot. Yeah, I just wanted to, I guess that has been bothering me. We have the George Floyd case, and they're trying to throw everything at the prosecution, the defenses. I mean, it's just sickening. It's just sickening. That man should not even be wasting taxpayer dollars on that. This is what drives us our energy low. And when you go out, when you leave the house, you have to really be prepared. Be prepared, be prepared. When you get home, thank you, thank you, thank you, because a lot of things are going on. That's not to lift our people, but as far as they might, we will be lifted. We'll be lifted up. We will remain lifted up and soaring, because even with the deletion of this information, I didn't even mention it. She had the COVID vaccine. Why not say that? So that's why it's hidden. Like I said, couple of 20 minutes, I found it. But why would that not be the case, Joy Reid? Why would you not mention that? Because that could save, if you're on the fence, that might save another person to at least have an informed decision. So you all they just want us going shuffling in there. Monday through Friday, they have the churches. I think the churches are now administering. We need to be careful. We need to be careful. We need to be careful and cautious, you know, because this is Deanne. I say it's population era. That's where we are. Like, share, subscribe, follow. Like, share, subscribe, follow. Like, share, subscribe, follow. Perhaps I didn't mention that. Melanin Report 360. So we have to be careful. We have to be cautious. We have a lot of shores coming at us, so many different directions, and we have to be due diligent. I had to take my car in for service today, and I haven't been home that long, and I was mindful. Chandra Bland kind of spirit kind of came around me or something, but I I wanted to make sure I put my signal on. I don't know why. I don't usually change lanes without signaling. I think it's rude, and perhaps all of you all out there are not doing it, but I do it. I've done it ever since I started driving, like 30 years ago. 30 plus years ago. So I definitely put my signals on, even if there was no vehicle behind me, not directly behind me. But we have to do everything above and beyond what is expected, because we're in dangerous times, unfortunately. I mean, we soar, we succeed, we are accomplished. I mean, it's undeniable. That's why the devil is busy. You know, my grandmother would say, "The devil is busy." And this is an example, because the deletion of that mere fact that could change someone's decision, and that's what they don't want us to do. They want us to be shuffled on in there like animals. One size fits all. I don't understand that. In my mind, even in my mind and heart, it doesn't even seem right. I don't need to disclose, let's say, not like a medical report, but do I get the full strength dose, or do I get abbreviated dose? If I'm HIV positive, is that another strand that you need? No one's asking any questions, because I believe the people that are administering, I don't know if they are doctors or whatever, but It's just like next, next. Because one of my relatives went in, um, she was pretty much, shuffled on through the line, so that's what I had something else to talk about. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. Something that came up in Georgia. A girlfriend of mine sent me some information, disturbing information. Um, we have to really be mindful of the times we're in. Okay, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed because when I watched, I tell you, a good movie to watch. Um, the singer, not Tina, Mahalia, Mahalia Jackson. And she was accomplished. And when she went to the South, there was a scene, I don't want to give it all away, but there was a scene where she needed to get gas and her son was driving. And, he pulled up into this rednecky, you know, place to get gas. She had to kind of do what she needed to do, not look the guy in the face. And, we've been through a lot, baby. You're Black in this body. You've been through a lot. You have a lot of stories to tell. If you're 50, if you're 40, if you're 30, if you're 20, if you're a teenager now, give me a rice. Give me a rice. But now, in my closing remarks, I will just say that it's a shame and disgrace when we, for a network, the prestige of a network, I get it at some level, but you can't throw people under the bus. They can't speak for themselves. If Midwin Charles had not taken that vaccine, albeit in an accident or whatever, she would still be here. I do believe that. I do believe that 100%. So we have to try to get all the information we need and above, beyond the information, every piece of information to get that make an informed decision, people, sisters and brothers, family. Please do your due diligence. The fact that they are both deeply melanated people, both Midwood, and allegedly DMX, you have to be mindful of all of that. You have to be not mindful of all of that. So that's what I have today. I thank you for watching and listening, sharing, subscribing. Melanin Report 360. I'm your hostess, Deanne. I look forward to reading your comments. And stay safe out there. Be well. And I'll see you soon. Thank you. Peace.